Hi. What's up? What's up? What's happening? Hello! Happy... what day is it? Tuesday. Happy Tuesday, innit? Once again, it's Tuesday, innit? How amazing. How do you do, my fellow chud buddies? Not the chud bubbies. Chud bubbies. That's what I call my brother, my bubby. I was thinking chud buddy, and then I was reading straw baby, and I like mixed them together. You are my straw babies. Oh my goodness, you guys. Life has been interesting, to say the least. I hope you guys have had a good day. I hope you had a good Monday yesterday after stream. Let out. Last night was pretty cool in the Discord. We watched The Chosen together last night, like we do every Monday night now, at 6 p.m. EST. If you have any interest in that, feel free to join us. It's been a good time. I don't know. I always very much enjoy that. And tomorrow is our Bible study at 2 p.m. EST in the Discord. I don't stream that. It'll be week 2. So if you're interested in joining that as well, it takes place 2 p.m. EST. So a little earlier in the day tomorrow, we get into a voice call, kind of discuss everything. Like, I kind of just like walk you through the very beginning and like all the questions, and then everyone breaks out into breakout groups. We did it the first time last Wednesday, and it was really fun and really good, and like the conversations were great, honestly. So we're doing that again tomorrow. You are invited. If you'd like to come, we'd love to have you. You can join the Discord, of course, if you'd like. Yeah, I don't know. I've had the worst headache today. Like, my head has been like pounding, and I almost was like, am I even gonna be able to stream today? And then it got better, and then it got worse. And I don't understand. I don't understand, chat. I don't like it. But I'm gonna try and drink more water, because maybe it's like also possibly from being a little dehydrated, so. Yeah. I'm sorry if you guys have not had a good day, but you know what? We can make it better. We can make it better, ain't that right, chat? Which I wanted us to watch her skating, because I saw some clips and it was so good. But this whole discourse with Alyssa, I don't know how you say her last name, Leo? It kind of reminded me of the discourse with her, because people are upset that, I guess, like, some conservatives like her. Even though people were saying she's probably not conservative, and I agree. I mean, you know, hey, she might be. I don't think she is, though, from clips I've seen of her. But, you know, you don't want to judge a book by a cover too much. However, I mean, you know, take one look at her. She looks like she's probably a little on the left. That's okay. She's very talented. She's a cute girl. She has apparently a really good backstory, but we'll talk about that. Let's see. To be fair, most men shouldn't vote either. Only me. Thank you for the $2. Yeah, that was just a whole funny conversation to have. I mean, you know, and it's not even something that I really. Like, it's so silly to me that, like, 'cause I know people were saying, like, oh, you should do a debate with Maria. I've decided I'm definitely not doing that, because I just don't feel it's necessary. I feel like there's really no conversation there to be had. I feel like I gave my feelings about it on stream. I think that's enough. And I don't really think we're changing minds on that one, you know? I feel like people are pretty set. If someone has that opinion, I feel like they're probably pretty set on that opinion. So yeah, I just feel like that's kind of a waste of everyone's time, to be honest with you. I don't really want to debate that. I don't feel like it's necessary. But let's watch this. And then we'll look at another Reddit article about this. Is it an article? The sheer talent that you have to be able to do all of this is just crazy. Do you have to worry about copyright music here? I mean, if it does, like, I'm just learning how this works, but, like, if it does copyright it, I should be able to mute things and take things out, so, like, it won't be a big deal. I'm really not sure, to be honest with you, but, you know, it's just crazy, though. Like, she's so talented. We won't watch the whole thing, though, but I just wanted to show, her skill, you know, because that's pretty cool. But I think this kind of goes along with what we were talking about just a second ago with that tweet about me and, like, you know, being upset essentially that I am not, like, super alt-right, even though I've said I'm not, and being, like, mad about it for some reason. But I don't know if you guys have seen the discourse with this, but I just thought this pretty much summed up a lot of what I've seen and how I felt. So the Alyssa Liu discourse perfectly captures what's wrong with modern progressivism. For anyone who didn't know, Alyssa Liu won gold in US figure skating. She has received overwhelming praise from virtually everyone for her skating, which, I mean, we saw the skating, it was really good. Is it any surprise that people would, you know, think it's worth praising? On Twitter, a lot of right-leaning people and pages have also praised her as being, you know, an immigrant success story. Apparently her dad came here from China, became a lawyer, and now she's a world champion athlete. I mean, that's a pretty amazing story. As well as just being generally happy that American won gold and feeling patriotic about it. You know, being proud of your country, being, like, proud to be an American that won at the Olympics, you know what I mean? So this has been met with mockery from a lot of progressives who are quick to point out that she herself is progressive and quote-unquote woke, which, you know, I'm not entirely sure. I do think she probably is progressive from the clips I saw. I don't know, like, woke is kind of an extreme word. I don't know. Maybe she is. I don't know. And really, I don't care. And therefore likely hates most of the conservatives who are praising her. I mean, I hope she doesn't hate us, but I feel like she probably doesn't hate people who are just saying she's really talented, you know? This is the problem with progressives. People on the right are happy to see her succeed. They're happy that her dad came here through legal immigration process, has contributed, been successful, and now she's done the same thing in turn. They overwhelmingly don't care about her politics, especially because she hasn't used the Olympics as a megaphone to broadcast her political beliefs. She's just done what she was there to do. Because apparently there are other people, I guess, who will, like, use it as an opportunity to, like, shout out their own political opinions, which, like, everyone's always gonna have a problem with that, like, on either side, because obviously, like, you're gonna see it, and if it's on your side, you're gonna be like, yeah, probably, but if it's on the other side, you're probably not gonna like it. I mean, it's probably the smartest decision to not do it, but also, like, I get why someone does it. Like, I get why they would do it. But at the same time, I guess there are people that, like, people were comparing it to at certain sporting events, like, not, you know, like when they do, like, whenever it's, like, the Pledge of Allegiance and all those types of things, and if people, like, don't want to do it, they don't want to participate, it's like, or not the Pledge of Allegiance, the Pledge, I don't think, do they do the Pledge of Allegiance there? You know what I mean, but people who don't want to participate because it's America and they don't like America, blah, blah. Anyways, sorry, I don't go to many sporting events, okay? But that's besides the point. So, they just liked that she was proud of the US. Like, she was clearly very happy that she was competing on behalf of the US, etc. Obviously, if the situations were reversed, you'd have a completely different reaction. If it came to light that she was a MAGA supporter, progressives would relentlessly bash and shame her. They definitely wouldn't praise or promote her performance, and they would largely only care about her political views. anyone with common sense who's been alive for the last decade knows this is true because we've seen it happen over and over again. This is why so many people can't stand modern progressivism. No matter what you do or achieve or what kind of person you are overall, the wrong political views are a completely overriding non-starter. So, I mean, I think a lot of this also was kind of captured in the video that Shu made the other day that we reacted to, you know? It's just like, this is the problem with modern progressivism, like the current day, quote-unquote, left. And it's really a shame because, you know, all that should matter at the end of the day is she's an American that won gold. She's very talented. And I think that's all that anyone should really care about. You know what I mean? It makes sense. It makes a lot of sense. So, yeah, I do think it's weird when any side, whether you're on the left or you're on the right, try to, like, quote unquote, take someone and like make them like a figurehead for your politics. And I'm sure there probably were people who did that on both sides. Yes, the national anthem. That's why I couldn't think of the word. My brain is like mashed potatoes. I'm sorry. Thank you. I said the Pledge of Allegiance. Anyways, oh my goodness. But yeah, it's like the whole just say the line mentality. Exactly. They just want you to say what they want you to say, and then that's good enough. You don't even have to necessarily know what you're talking about. As long as you say the line that they want you to say, that's what matters. But yeah, it's just crazy though. She's super talented though, and it's sad that anyone would try to, I don't know, make this into something that it isn't. You know what I mean? I see Catgirl. I watch Catgirl. Amazing. So yeah, I also was going to have us watch this because this was actually crazy. Did you guys see this? Gavin Newsom sparks backlash after viral 960 SAT comment critics call bigoted. So, this is pretty funny. I mean, it's like crazy. It reminded me of Kelly Osbourne on, was it The View? Was it The View, like years and years ago, where she was like, yeah, because if we deport, you know, undocumented citizens, who's gonna wash your toilets, Donald Trump? And everyone was like, oh no, Kelly, no. And she's like, yeah, you know what? And they're like, no. It's like, that's kind of racist, like. But this is interesting. So let's see what Gavin Newsom has to say to the Black community.
I'm not trying to impress you. I'm just trying to impress upon you. Okay. I'm like you.
He's like us. Let's see, or not me, sorry. He's talking to Black people right now. Let's see how he is like them.
No better than you. You know, I'm a 960 SAT guy.
This guy's, I'm sorry, this guy's face the whole time, like, you can just see it. I feel like this guy just knows. Like, he's not stupid. Like, clearly you can see he's like, Like, I so wish, I don't think he called him out on anything, because I'm assuming if he did, the clips would have gotten around, but it's like let's just keep watching.
960 SAT guy. And, you know, and I'm not trying to offend anyone, you know, trying to act all there if you got 940. But literally a 960 SAT guy. I cannot, you've never seen me read a speech because I cannot read a speech.
That could be a problem in your position. Okay.
It may be the wrong business to be in. You know, my dyslexia, I haven't overcome dyslexia. I'm living with it.
Oh, okay.
You know, I was the guy in the back of the classroom and my head down, just praying the teacher didn't call on me. I went through, I think I lost count of how many schools I had to go to. And, you know, I'll never forget, I'll never, ever forget. My mom's choice was never to label me. She just had to struggle with me. And I walked in, I'll never forget this. It was probably 8th or 9th grade, walking home, got home early. My mom was always working, so, you know, I'm cooking, literally lived on Stouffer's lasagna, macaroni.
I don't know about all this, but it's just very odd. It's very odd to me that he would say to this group of people, he's like, I get you. I'm just like you guys. I had a 960 SAT score. And like, if you guys are not familiar with SAT scores, 960 is not a good one. It is in fact a bad one. It is a low test score. So he's basically saying, I'm like you guys. I'm not very smart either. I'm also kind of stupid. Like, that's like what he's... And I'm wondering at this point, because he's talking about, you know, his mom Stouffer's lasagna. Like, are you trying to... Did you realize that you put your foot in your mouth? And maybe now you're trying to... You're trying to explain it away with some, like, childhood story. I mean, I don't know. It's just crazy. It's actually crazy. Also, I think someone said he has, like, an $8 million house or something. But I'm just like you guys. Don't worry. I had a 960 SAT score.
Macaroni and cheese. I got finished, you know, 2 pots of macaroni and cheese and got bored. And I went upstairs and there was a file cabinet open and it said Gavin. In fact, she had a weird name, Gavinsky. That was like my nickname. And I opened it up and it was all of these reports from the doctors. And I never realized I was going after school 3 days a week. I didn't know what for. And it was all around. It was the lisp and the reading, the B's and the R's were backwards, spelling witch, W-I-C-H, or, you know, the whole. And I didn't, and I'm like, what is this? And that's when I learned I had, quote unquote, dyslexia. My mom was furious because she didn't want that to limit me. So
is he saying, like, his mom didn't want that to limit him the way your blackness will limit you or something? I mean, I don't understand. I don't know. No, see, I'm totally cool, guys. I'm just as dumb as the peasants. Low ST scores, can't read, can't practice birth certificate, can't manage a budget. I wouldn't let this guy manage a candy store, let alone a state. Oh dear. Can you imagine? I'm just as dumb as you are as a presidential pitch. It's just, kinda yikes, you know? I mean, what on earth? This might be a cold take, but people in public office of any kind should not be able to afford multi-million-dollar homes. I mean, I just feel like it's pretty out of touch to be like, I'm just like you guys. I got an $8 million house, $8 million mansion. I'm just like you. I was gonna see, Amala talked about this. We watched some of her stuff the other day. And I was just curious to hear her perspective a little bit on this. As a black woman, you know, I'd be curious to hear what she has to say about this.
Impress you. I'm just trying to impress upon you. I'm like you. I'm no better than you.
The way he's saying that is so weird.
You know, I'm a 960 SAT guy.
Is anybody buying this? I'm not. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, you better.
Her intro is so good.
Yeah, you better.
Guys, before we get into today's video, please like and subscribe. Today we're talking about Gavin Newsom, and I got a bone to pick with Gavin Newsom, okay? And I say that as a California resident myself. We're gonna talk about our dear...
I didn't know she was from California. I'm sorry, Amala. I'm sorry.
Dear governor, okay? He's going viral for a clip, and I'm going to play the clip for you again so you can get it in its full context, where he talks about being a 960 SAT and how he can't read and he doesn't read speeches. Now, he's being called out online for saying this in what was deemed to be a predominantly black crowd in Atlanta, Georgia. And people are calling this racist, saying that he's trying to sort of play to black people. I have a little bit of pushback on that, but not in a way that gets me off Gavin Newsom's neck, okay? So let's watch the clip one more time, and let's see what we think about this.
I'm not I'm not trying to impress you. I'm just trying to impress upon you.
First of all, what a politician's like sentence. I'm not
What does that even, yeah, what does it even mean? It's like just a bunch of like word salad.
trying to impress you. I'm just trying to impress upon you. Some aide wrote that and thought they ate. Okay, let's keep going.
I'm like you.
I'm like
I'm
you.
no better than you.
He thinks he's Shakespeare.
I'm
Please.
a 960 SAT guy. And, and I'm not trying to offend anyone, trying to act all there if you got 940. But literally a 960 SAT guy.
It's so funny that his way of trying to relate to the common man goes all the way back to high school and his SAT score. Like nothing has happened to you since that can have you relate to common people living in your country, to your constituents, except your 960 SAT score, which means in your just lovely background, your superlative background, and we'll get to the superlatives in just a moment, you just happen to be really shit at taking the SATs. And that's what's going to have you relate to the American people. And there's a reason that that's the story, because there's no other way in which he can try to relate to you. And we'll get to that.
I cannot, you've never seen me read a speech because I cannot read a speech. Maybe the wrong business to be in.
Yeah.
Okay. You've never seen him read a speech because he cannot read a speech. Okay. First of all, let's go ahead and debunk that really quick. And first, actually, before we get there, let's talk about the idea that he was addressing a predominantly Black crowd. That may or may not be true. I don't know what this crowd looked like in Atlanta, Georgia. Atlanta does have a really big Black population. Maybe he was pandering to Black people, which makes this even worse. It makes it one of those things where you're trying to relate to the Black people by saying you're stupid because that's your view of minority groups. I don't know if that's exactly what he was doing in this clip, but we've seen.
That's fair. I mean, I will say Atlanta usually does have a pretty higher population of Black people. I'm sure there were probably a lot of Black people in the audience. I'm sure there were probably some white people in the audience, some like Hispanic people, I mean a mix of people. But regardless, he's basically saying, like she said, to the common person, I'm just like you guys. Like whether it was about Black people, whether it was about whoever. I mean, you're in Atlanta, Georgia. Like, there's a lot of Black people in the audience, but whoever it is, the common workers, in the audience, you're just like, I'm just like you guys. I'm kind of dumb too. I get it. I know what it's like. I also cannot read. Like, that's so insulting. Like, what?
Other politicians do this. We have New York Governor Kathy Hochul here doing that. Let's watch.
Young Black kids growing up in the Bronx who don't even know what the word computer is. They don't know. They don't.
Are there really? I mean, I have a hard time believing that there are young Black kids in the Bronx that have never heard the word computer before. They... What? What year are we living in? Huh? Like, you're poor, so you've never heard the word computer before. Okay. Right. How progressive of you.
Know these things. And I want the world open up to all of them, because when you have their diverse voices innovating.
Right. The Black kids in the Bronx don't know what the word computer is. Oh my gosh, let's do it again. This is Biden.
And the other thing we should do is we should challenge these students. We should challenge students in these schools to have advanced placement programs in these schools. We have this notion that somehow if you're poor, you cannot do it. Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids.
Woo! Let's pause.
I remember that one. I remember that one. The poor kids are just as bright and talented as white kids. As someone who was a pretty low-income white kid, what? Let's just watch that back. We gotta watch that one again.
Oh my gosh, let's do it again. This is Biden.
And the other thing we should do is we should challenge these students. We should challenge students in these schools to have advanced placement programs in these schools. We have this notion that somehow if you're poor, you cannot do it. Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids.
Woo! Ooh, let's possibly show there. We call that a slip of the Freudian variety. Okay, that's what we call that. And guess what? He's not only done it once. Here is it again.
A lot of people don't know how to register. Not everybody in the community, in the Hispanic and the African American community, particularly in rural areas that are distant and or inner city districts, know how to get online to determine how to get in line for that.
Ooh.
We don't know how to get online.
Minority communities don't know how to get online to get in line. Get online to get in line. I'm not trying to impress you. I'm just trying to impress upon you. Okay, guys, do we see the correlation here? Do we see how these individuals speak? And interestingly enough, it doesn't matter if the crowd was
these people, it don't matter who you are. And honestly, it really doesn't even matter your political leading. These politicians, they are not like us. They do not care about us. They, by and large, I'm sure there are some that have, more genuine feelings and want to do good for the American people. But by and large, these people are selfish. These people do not actually care about us. And it's pretty obvious, And at the end of the day, though, they're out of touch, right? These people in political office, again, on both sides, they are out of touch. They are unaware of what the average, working American deals with and goes through. And to be honest, doesn't seem like they care that much, But yeah, elite's gonna elite, right?
Predominantly Black, now that I'm thinking of it. It matters that he thought the crowd was predominantly stupid. Let's watch the clip one more time and remind you that this crowd, he said to them, I'm just like you guys, essentially. I got a 960. Okay, let's watch.
I'm not trying to impress you. I'm just trying to impress upon you. I'm like you. I'm no better than you. I'm a 960 SAT guy.
Oh, so you think I got a 960 on my SAT?
Yeah, that would have been like the ultimate clap back though if that guy he's just sitting up there with, I'm not sure who that guy is. He looked kind of familiar. I don't know him. If he would have been like, brother, I got a 1400 on my SAT. I went to a real nice school. You know what I mean? I will say, I don't know if Gavin Newsom is being completely honest about his SAT score, but it did feel pretty nice to know that I didn't even study for mine and I got a 1200. And then that was enough for me. I was like, I'm never taking this stupid test ever again. So it was enough to get into the school I wanted to get into. I was like, that's good enough for me. Nope.
Gavin, we're going to add a few hundreds onto the score there, okay? And then you come talk to me. You're not like me. And you're not like probably the people in this crowd either, but let's keep watching.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not trying to offend anyone, trying to act all there if you got 940.
And he said, just in case I didn't go low enough in my score for this crowd, if you got a 940, I'm rocking with you. We're cool too. You can still vote for me because I'm dumb as rocks, just like you guys are dumb as rocks. Okay? And this is the guy who can't read speeches. Let's remember that. He can't read speeches, but let's watch this clip.
You've written a hell of a book, and I don't say that lightly. I went through it in a quick hour and a half, almost 2 hours. And trust me, I don't read very fast, but it reads at an unbelievable pace. It's so well written. And of course, it's so familiar because I felt a little bit adjacent to so much of the subject.
Damn. He sure read that book fast. I guess it was the way it was written. Okay. And we can't write his speeches in the same way, but don't.
Yeah, I was going to say the speeches just aren't written as nicely, as eloquently, he can't read the speeches the same way he can read that book. That was just a real special book that was.
Don't worry, guys, he's just like you. He grew up down and out. He didn't know how to read. He's dyslexic. In fact, he said exactly that in response to a ton of the shit that he's getting over this particular clip. Let's read it. He says to Sean Hannity, you don't give a shit about the president of the United States of America posting an ape video of President Obama, which we've debunked on this channel. You could check out that video. Or calling African nations shitholes. You're going to call me racist for talking about my lifelong struggle with dyslexia? Spare me your fake fucking outrage. Sean, you know what? We don't even have to hammer Gavin Newsom on this clip. There's a million things you could go after this man for that have nothing to do with his 960 SAT score or what he said to this particular crowd. And I'll give you a list of those things at the end of this video. So stick around. This guy is going to pretend like he's led a life just like you. Did you open up a high-end liquor store at
Yeah, he's just like us, chat. He's literally just like us.
24 years old alongside the Gettys, which if you are a California resident, you know the Gettys. You also know the Pelosi's. Were you in cahoots with those families at the age of 24? I don't think so. Gavin Newsom was. Were you voted most stylish at your...
I will say this is a pretty like great photo of him. I remember this photo got like posted. I was like, yeah, he's got some drip in this photo. I can't lie. Most stylish. Okay, Gavin.
School here as a senior, and look, in the picture, he's reading, or at least pretending to. I don't know what's going on there. Here's him, also featured. Gavin, quote, I grew up poor, end quote, Newsom was in the San Francisco Chronicle in 1991. And this is, quote, children of the rich. And who is he pictured with as a child of the rich here? The Gettys, again. So are we falling for Gavin Newsom? I don't think so. I don't think so. And this clip is just one of many where he's doing the thing that politicians do, which is like, please, please, please. I know in every way, shape, or form, my life in no way is reflective of your life, and in no way runs in tandem with the life of the average American Joe. But please, 960 SAT score. But I'm not better than the 940s who are in this room either. And it's the only thing he has to latch onto. In fact, he said this whole 960 thing in front of other crowds, which is why the black argument doesn't matter and doesn't make sense here.
Fair.
Here's him talking to, I believe, Charlie Kirk.
Started 960 SAT. I asked you about your SAT.
I don't
You
even
said,
know. I
the
took
hell is
the
that?
ACT.
You took the ACT, which proves two things: how young you are and how different things were. You were
Like, who's running around at his big age? This is a big boy age to still be talking about your SAT scores and comparing it with other men around you.
At his big boy age, still talking about his SAT scores. Bro has like fond high school memories. I don't know. That's funny.
If this is the only thing you have to sort of bring yourself down to the level of other American people, then you don't have much. Meanwhile, he's bringing down the livelihoods of virtually everybody who's a California resident right now as government, and he's failing you over and over and over, much like I guess he failed the SATs. Now, I'm going to read you a list of things you could actually go after Gavin Newsom for that have nothing to do with what he said in that speech and what he said about black people. As far as California is concerned, number one in homelessness, number one in poverty, number one in addiction, in gas prices, in income tax, in gas tax, in budget deficit, in retail theft, in citizen exodus, in COVID mandates, COVID school closures, COVID business closures, illegal immigration, funding illegal migration, illiteracy, which I guess he knows a little something about at times where it's convenient to him, wage stagnation, frivolous lawsuits, anti-business regulations, worker regulations. The list goes on and on and on.
That's really
for
sad.
all the ways in which Gavin Newsom has failed.
And California is like such a beautiful state. There's so much there that's like good. And it's so sad the way all of this has turned out for California. I mean, it's just very sad.
And maybe he should talk about that instead of his SAT score. Okay? So I think we can put that to bed, guys. And again, it doesn't matter if he was talking to a black audience. It matters that a lot of the stuff he says either isn't true or is just being reframed so he can come off as that guy that everybody can relate to,
Right.
as he fails us time and time again in the state of California. But buy his book, because it's on display and he's doing a book tour. And guess what? He's aiming for...
Wait, he's selling a book, but he can't even read. What? Did he write this book himself? Methinks he did not write his book himself. Because how can you write a book if you can't read? I'm so very confused right now, Mr. Gavin. I'm feeling a little betrayed right now.
for higher office, guys. This guy wants to do more damage than his 960 SAT. Okay, guys. So I'm not falling for it. I'm not falling for Gavin Newsom. I hope you're not either. You guys let me know in the comments down below. Those are my thoughts on this clip. I had a lot more than I thought I did now that I got into it, guys. Drop your thoughts down below. As always, if you disagree with anything I said in this video, do get out and do so respectfully. I encourage healthy debate on this channel. And if you like this video, like, subscribe, click the notification bell to be notified every single time I post a video for
I'll
you
give
guys.
you a
which is
like, Amala. I like you. I like her a lot. I think she's a very reasonable person that also does good research on things, which is why I wanted to watch her video on this as well, because I knew she would have more context for us to look at. But yeah, isn't that quite a funny way to like promote your new book? It's like, hey guys, I can't read. Buy my new book. It's like, oh, okay. Very interesting. My state is gorgeous as long as you ignore all the trash and homeless and all the beautiful areas trashing it. Yeah, it's very sad. It is very sad, like the homeless problem and all the drugs and just everything about it is just very, very sad. And I just, to be completely honest, I mean, I'm just a girl on the internet. I don't know all the answers, but you would think somebody in charge would have answers and would be able to clean things up and make things safer and better for all Americans, right? I mean, I think it's fair for Americans to want like safe streets, safe public transit, safe everything, like clean, safe. That's not something that's like, you know, it's not privileged to want these things. These things should be available to all of us. And it's very sad that depending on where you live, it's not available to you. So, yeah, it's unfortunate. I wanted to watch this video because I'd heard some people talking about Oshi. I'm not entirely sure. It's supposed to be like a VTuber MySpace kind of thing. I have not signed up. I saw some people on Twitter talking about it and saying it seemed like it might be, I don't want to say sketchy, but like, you know, apparently it's invite only. Maybe they collect certain data or information from VTubers that sign up that I don't know what they could possibly be doing with that stored data. People had some privacy concerns. So I'm curious, Kazahana is talking about it. So do I not subscribe on this account? He's pretty cool. I like some of his videos. You guys should check him out. But yeah, let's hear what he has to say about the VTuber MySpace trend that goes viral amid fan concerns.
There's been a little bit of a trend going on in the VTuber space, and it's all to do with this one website called Oshi. Now, if you don't know, Oshi is a new thing that's kind of released earlier this year, and essentially it is a VTuber MySpace. And it's blown up pretty massively among a lot of VTubers, including many popular VTubers.
I feel like it's blown up, but I feel like just like everything else that blows up, it's just gonna die. You know what I mean? I mean, I could be wrong, but is it just me who feels like every so many months there's like a new, you know, social media platform or a new streaming platform or something, especially ones like catered towards VTubers, and it's like, it sounds great, it sounds cool, everyone's super into it for a little while because it's the new thing and everyone's talking about it, but then like nobody ends up using it like long term. Everyone just comes back to Twitter. But we'll see.
Like Zentreya here saying, I'm on VTuber MySpace, no RP allowed though because my mod said so. So again, this is being, you know, kind of talked about by a lot of people. It is blown up to the point where people like Zentreya.
I mean, that's a really, Zentreya is a really big VTuber too. I didn't know there were VTubers as big as her on there. That's interesting.
And more have been interacting with it, which I think is great. And obviously there's been so many different posts, and you can see there's stuff like forums and collabs and all of this kind of stuff. And essentially it's playing on that kind of nostalgia factor that a lot of people want in terms of their pages. And you can see so many people have been kind of customizing it with their own VTuber pictures and whatever. And yeah, it's supposed to be a space for like VTubers to set up their own little MySpace-esque page, which I think has been a really cool idea. And obviously some people have been debating how long this will last for, because of course, you know, at the end of the day, places like Twitter and stuff are better just for kind of communicating and actually finding out real stuff. But I think the nostalgia factor and creating a cool page is actually really, really nice.
Ace, thanks for the $2. Hi, bye. I'll watch VOD later. Thanks, I appreciate it. Thank you for the support.
Finding out real stuff, but I think the nostalgia factor and creating a cool page is actually really, really nice, and provides a kind of interesting I guess, area for some people, right? And well, it seems like as well there has been some concerns to do with it, which I kind of wanted to kind of point out as well. But first of all, let's just go through the many posts about MyOshi that has been coming out from different kind of people, right? You got tons of VTubers saying, I may be cooking. MyOshi is so fun so far, including Luminara as well, saying, have you ever heard of MyOshi Co? The kind people at MyOshi gave us 100 codes to give to small VTubers. Reply to this tweet for a chance to get an invite code. So it seems like some spots are limited.
I feel like I wouldn't be able to get an invite code because I'm a chud.
To actually get into the kind of site itself. It was site cursor for MyOshi. Obviously they found a cursor or whatever. So MyOshi is the cutest space for VTubers. Have been enjoying it so much. If anyone needs an invite code, let me know. Also PM on MyOshi for CSS help on customization if needed. Thank you so much, MyOshi, for creating this platform. That was much needed. So yeah, obviously a lot of people have been enjoying creating these kind of, I guess, very decorative, well-designed, profiles and whatever. People have been creating tutorials on how to make images and GIFs appear on the page, as it seems like a lot of people have their own ideas for different designs and whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I think the pages look cool. I just question if it's going to be used long term. And then I am curious to see when he talks about people's, like the safety or privacy concerns. For some reason, too, I can't see your second message on YouTube chat. I can only see a bit of it on the stream chat replay. Yeah, I feel like that's happened a couple times before, I've noticed, on YouTube chat. I don't know, YouTube, I guess it like glitches out maybe, I'm not sure. I'm sorry.
In terms of what it is, some people have gone for like a more older style, right? With like a MyOshi page so far, whereas some have gone for something more like simple, or some have gone for like a big picture thing. Again, there's been so many people, so many VTubers, and obviously people saying, I've stopped accepting everyone on MyOshi, too many randoms trying to add me, most likely never even heard of me. I don't care if it's part of MySpace culture back in the day. I just want to keep it being a fun space with my friends and mutuals. So some people already setting boundaries and stuff, right? But I did recently come across as well a kind of thread talking about a warning about MyOshi.
Hey, I did not consent to reading a third Reddit page today. Kazuhana, I did not consent to seeing Reddit for another time today. I wasn't aware that I was going to have to suffer through more r/VTuber drama. I did not consent to this. I'm not more Reddit, no. Okay, let's see. They're warning about MyOshi /VTuber MySpace.
Now, again, I think this should be taken with a heavy grain of salt. I think it is people just speculating things. And obviously, people have been talking about the website itself, right? They're saying, are you referring to MyOshi here? Their site is so arse. They left introspections, a feature that lets me dump all their roots and models on. It's off by default in production, which means someone manually turned it on. Their privacy policy is so vague, despite them collecting IP addresses, geolocation, user agents, browser information. Now, that is what this person claims. Again, I'm not saying this is true or anything, but
I mean, that is interesting this person would claim that. I'm not someone who is very well versed on things like that. I'm really not sure like if there's any like validity to that. But I mean, if that was to be true, that would obviously be concerning. But again, I'm not sure about that. Some of you guys might know more than me about things like that.
I think it is definitely something to kind of point out here is the fact of the website security. And I'm not saying as well that they're doing this on purpose either. If this is the case, I'm not saying that this is necessarily then doing it on purpose. But some people are concerned for the website safety and in terms of, how secure.
I think it's fair to be concerned about safety though, especially as a VTuber. Like, I feel like VTubers definitely take, privacy and safety very, very, I mean, all streamers do, but VTubers especially. So I understand people being cautious about things like this at the very least.
Here it is. A lot of people will say, yeah, I figured that site was iffy. So true. I'm going to use it for streams 100%. Obviously, that's for a PNG tuber thing they're talking about. I think I reported it to them and then they turned it off in a few hours, but I don't trust them anymore. If they can't keep their own stuff safe, I doubt they can keep my data safe. So yeah, it seems like this person knows a lot about websites and whatever, and they have actually contacted them to say, hey, this is a bad thing. This can be a problem, by the way. And then they turned it off. Now, I think it's good that they turned it off. Obviously, it seems like, to me, that seems like it was a genuine mistake. It seems like that was a genuine kind of mess up.
That's true. But also it does make you question if they were able to, make that mistake. And apparently that mistake might have been a pretty big mistake. Maybe. I'm not exactly sure about all of this. It does maybe make you a little concerned about other things that they could make mistakes about with like your sensitive information. But of course, it's all, at the end of the day, when you sign up for any website at all, like you're kind of entrusting whatever information you give to that website to the website. So just something for people to be mindful of no matter where you're signing up, right?
Like they didn't mean to do that. It's not like they're being malicious in terms of trying to collect this kind of data or whatever. It was just a kind of, they didn't realize, right? But obviously they're saying, I don't really trust them if they don't understand that, which again, I can understand, right? I can understand why they would be a little bit concerned, right? Saying, I discovered an API route that lets you create 100 invites. Said it it's depreciated or deprecated, but chances that it's still usable, which again is pretty crazy. And obviously, this person has really been going into it, right? Saying, I'm not even into this stuff or have any knowledge in it. I would bet they would have to RCE somewhere. The entire thing looks quite sketchy to me, and everyone I talked to about this. Which again, obviously, it seems like people have been kind of digging into it, saying, I don't see why they'd opt to be so vague with their privacy policy in TOS, though, unless they're doing something sketchy, which again, obviously, these are just kind of things that they are claiming within a Discord chat message, right? That has just been posted on this subreddit. So you got to take things with a massive grain of salt. Now, a lot of people saying, I don't even understand what the point would be. Like, VTubers can already use existing social media that they get. But again, as I said, it's playing on the nostalgia factor. I feel like that is the reason why people like it so much. Saying if you don't like one of those, you should find another that people are already using. The best case scenario I see for this is that it might allow you to speedrun clout chasing collabs rather than organic growth. Be filled with new debut VTubers with 30 followers paying to friend requests with their Oshis, get in their DMs. Sounds like a nightmare for anyone established who probably already has deals and stuff like that, which again, I don't think they're too concerned about that. I think that people can handle, smaller creators and things in the way that they want to. People say, I think right now it's mainly running on the nostalgia factor. People saying it's self-segregation, and if someone wants to be a VTuber anti, there are plenty of names in one place. Also, if you're already growing, you probably have a reason to be on there, which obviously, some people have been kind of finding, I guess.
Oh, I saw. Go back down.
Reason to be on there.
Go back down.
Which obviously, some people.
That's the girl that was mean to me and the other VTubers. Oh, she likes Reddit. Himi Hana. Because for VTubers only, it's a completely different environment from any other social media platform. This is the one that called me a chud. And it doesn't involve an algorithm just to be seen and make friends. What you call organic growth is a normalization, thing that many people are fed up with. Yeah, I'm not going near this place. I'm not going near the VTuber MySpace with a 10-foot pole. You won't catch me anywhere over there. I probably wouldn't get an invite code anyways. That's okay. I don't want one. You stay over there. I'll stay on my Twitter. Yeah, I'm definitely not getting an invite code now, huh? Rip. That's okay. Oh, well, okay. So,
if they do grab onto that kind of stuff, it could be pretty bad. Not saying that they 100% have or anything like that, but I'm still trying to be safe, right? And I can understand why a lot of other VTubers would want to be safe and be cautious whenever going into something like this, even if the website is.
Yes, it's important to be cautious, chat.
Totally fine, and even if the website is totally okay and perfect, right? Because again, I'm 99% sure, obviously this, what they're doing is a good thing, and what they're doing is, Yeah,
I mean, they're probably just like having fun and making a website that they think is like cute and fun and, nostalgic or whatever. But there are valid concerns, I think. So that's fair. That is fair, right, chat? That is fair. Well, that's really all I wanted. I know British Strawb cursed. That's really all I wanted to like kind of react to and talk about today, for the most part. That was interesting, though. Yeah. Like I said, yeah, the site, it's all well and good. The site itself doesn't seem trustworthy. Yeah, I mean, personally, I would be pretty nervous about things like that. But I'm someone who, I just take my privacy and things very seriously, so. But, yeah, I mean, I get why people would be interested in something like that, though. It does look cool, but at the same time, you just have to be careful, because you never really know. I noticed some of your old ASMR VODs were gone. On my second channel, I rearranged some stuff because I was, like, kind of revamping it, so. And then on my main channel, they've been gone, but, maybe you didn't notice. Why does straw t-shirt on the thumbnail say feet? It does not. It doesn't say feet. What? Huh? Now I gotta look at it again for myself. It says neat. Like N-E-E-T. Because that's what my shirt says. On my other outfit it says neat. Not feet, chat. Oh my goodness. Why would I have a t-shirt that says feet on it? That would be so weird. Hey Strawb, would it be okay if I made an ASMR video suggestion? Sure, if you want to. I can't promise that I'd make it, but I always accept suggestions. If you wanted to drop it in the Discord, that'd probably be the most helpful way to do it. Yeah, it says neat. Hey Strawb, my dog is going into surgery for 3 stuck kidney stones, hoping for the best case scenario. I'm so sorry. I wish your doggy nothing but good luck. That's rough. I'm really sorry. I know, well, I don't know what it's like to have a dog that has kidney stones, but I've had kidney stones before, and it was not a good time. It was like some of the worst pain ever, but hopefully like your dog has good like medicine and stuff that can help. Oh my god, just stop talking about feet, you guys. Don't be weird. Don't be weird, oh my goodness. Crazy. First time here, came to support a fellow Christian chud. Yes, Christians having unwavering devotion. That's me, I'm a chud. Gonna lurk while playing Warhammer 40 Gladius? Well, thanks for the support, I appreciate it. Welcome in. Hello. There's nothing special about feet, we all have feet. I don't understand people who are like, really like grossed out by feet, but at the same time, like, I don't know, I don't prefer to talk about it because it's just awkward. It's just awkward and weird. I don't know. I really do gotta change the YouTube thing to not show like whatchamacallit, to not like automatically ban the word chud because it does that apparently. Crazy. Yeah, best wishes to the doggy, the doggo. Just caught the end with my Oshi, but was fun for what I was here for. Good stuff as always, God bless. Thanks. Yeah, if you guys want to watch the VOD, we talked about some other stuff as well. We just kind of ended on that, but we're proud to be called chuds. I mean, at this point, like, people, it's just funny to me. It's honestly funny to me that I was even put on that list as a chud. But at the same time, it's like, who cares? You know what I mean? Like, these people literally called me a racist Nazi. So, I don't really think that labels, like, matter. You know what I mean? Like, these people, they just, like, say stuff, you know? Like, they don't actually, like, have any real, real... I don't know, they don't even know what they're talking about. Like, they just, like, say stuff. Like, if they don't like you, you're a Nazi, grifter, racist. That's it. That's all. I didn't even know that the word chud was based on a movie. But apparently it's based on, like, a really weird movie. I have definitely never seen that movie. I find it funny how people proudly adapt the label Chud like the colonists adopted Yankee during the Revolutionary War. Interesting. They don't actually know you? Well, of course not. None of these people actually know me. I mean, it kind of goes back to what I was saying earlier, right? Like, I really feel like I really do feel like these people just don't know me and they just, like, have created someone to hate because they don't want to like me. But I feel like if they actually, like, got to know me, they, at the very least, wouldn't... I would think they wouldn't hate me as much as they do because I just don't understand... Like, it's just not really logical, you know? Like, they call me all these things that just don't apply to me. And it just makes no sense. Because it's they want to hate me. So they, like, create a caricature of who I am because they can't really hate who I actually am. I mean, not really. Yeah. Oh my goodness. The Chud bucket. That was, like, such an iconic thing. Like, I don't know. I thought of that, and when that was, like, probably the most impressive thing I've ever thought of on the spot. Like, kind of crazy. I've been lurking, but I wanted to pop in and say hi. Hello, welcome. Yeah, they love to hate. Well, we need more love in the world, chat. We need more love, less hate, you know? We gotta just keep pushing. Cause truthfully, like the people that I talked about today, I might laugh and I might say like this is stupid, this isn't normal, cause it's not. But do I hate them? No, I don't hate them. I mean, I really don't. I try very hard to not have hate in my heart. It can be difficult sometimes. But God tells us, you know, to pray for our enemies. We're not supposed to hate them. I don't want to have like blind rage, get on here and say a bunch of like, you know, personal insults and like attack people for like how they look or, you know, things they can't control. I think that's wrong. I never want to become that person. I don't want to be that person. Even if people do it to me, I still don't necessarily think it's the right thing to do it back to them. I think at that point, like, clearly they're really unhappy people and like, it's sad, but like, what, me saying something to them, like, as bad as they said to me, is that gonna make it better? And is it really gonna make me feel better? Like, maybe for like 5 seconds, and then it won't feel better, you know what I mean? Like, it'll make you feel better, and then you won't feel better, and then you're gonna feel like crap again, and then you're gonna feel, well, if you're me at least, because, I mean, obviously, I'm not perfect. There are times where, like, you know, I let my anger or like things like that get the better of me, but then I just feel bad after. Like, I might feel good in the moment, you know? I might feel good in the moment to like say something really mean and like really nasty, but then I'll like reflect back on it later and like feel really convicted about it and be like, wow, that was really awful of me. Like, that was not right. I shouldn't have said that. And then I'll like really think about it and I'll feel bad and either delete it or, you know, apologize if I have to, like if it's something that I feel I need to apologize for, even privately. But you know, it's hard. Bless those who curse you, pray for those who persecute you. It's very hard to pray for people who are mean to you. It's very difficult. But it's what we're asked to do. It's like interesting. I saw a TikTok earlier that popped up on my page. And it was basically saying, wow! It wasn't saying wow. Thank you for the... I'm not sure what this is in English, but... or in dollars, but this new cancellation culture proved to me I did well to study ways of teaching and to change the world by sending students who think. Poland rules. Well, I'm happy for you. I'm not from Poland, but that's cool. I'm glad you're happy about where you come from. That's great. And thank you for the dono. I appreciate it. But no, I saw this girl on TikTok earlier, and she was talking about how someone from her hometown had like reached out to her and sent her like a message about how she was really upset that she was a Christian and that she had certain beliefs, and that she was like, I know other Christians have these beliefs, but I was very disappointed to see that you have these beliefs. And she pretty much said like, listen, I don't view, what did she say? It was kind of funny. She was like, I don't view my religion, like Christianity, like a golden corral, you know? She was like, it's not a all-you-can-eat buffet you can pick and choose. She was like, I don't pick things out of the Bible just because I like that. And then this one, she's like, oh, like I like the chicken, but the shrimp I don't like, so I'm not gonna have that. She was like, that's not how it works. Like, if you really want to follow Jesus, you're gonna do your best. I mean, of course, we'll all stumble, we'll all make mistakes, right? We're all sinners, but you're gonna want to follow what the Bible says as best as you can, as best as you know how. So, even when I read things in the Bible that makes me uncomfortable, things that I don't particularly like, it might bother me. It might make me feel uncomfortable. But at the same time, I mean, it's the truth. So I might have to let myself get uncomfortable with the truth so that it can change me and make me better, even when it's really hard. I mean, just like the verses in the Bible about like forgiving your enemies and like forgiving people and blessing your enemies and praying for them and all these things, like that's not an easy thing to read, especially when someone has said or done something really bad to you. But it's still what it says. You don't have to like necessarily like it. Like, your flesh doesn't have to necessarily like it, but like you as a person, like if you really want to follow what the Bible says, you have to try and wrestle with the fact that that's what it says. You know what I mean? So it's not easy all the time though. That's for sure. Because, well, especially I feel like being so just like our culture is not compatible with Christianity. Like biblical Christianity is not compatible with our current culture and society. And so when you try to live out biblical Christianity as best you can, you're gonna get like weird looks from people. You're gonna get like people upset with you because it's like, you know, but it's all a part of, yeah, it is a part of sanctification. Like, we're going to get better, but it's gonna take time. Obviously, you know, you don't just become a Christian and flip a switch and all of a sudden you're perfect. Like, we're never gonna be perfect on this side of heaven, but we'll slowly and surely get better. But, yeah, you have to allow things to change you, even when you don't necessarily want it to change you. Because, like, some things are pretty hard to give up, you know? Some, like, thoughts, actions, just, like, general mentalities, like, it's hard to let go of it. Even when you read that it's wrong. It's not easy. Sometimes that discomfort is just a reflection of our own fallen hearts and areas we still need to turn over to Christ, yeah. It's not easy, and I feel like there's so much like gray area sometimes, or at least it feels like gray area, that I find myself questioning and just doing a lot of self-reflection, which I think it's good to do a lot of self-reflection, but you just never want it to become like toxic, I guess, to where you like question your every move, you know? I'm surprised by the fact that some people think loving your enemies is bad. I was actually just talking to someone a couple days ago, and she was telling me, she's another like pretty popular content creator, and she was telling me that basically like Christians, she said she's not a Christian, but that she doesn't like how a lot of Christians seem so weak all the time. because we say like we'll forgive people. And she said that like it's weakness. And I feel like that's like, and like no disrespect, but I feel like, you know, I mean, she said she's not a Christian, and I feel like people who are not Christians maybe don't fully understand that, like, it's not a matter of weakness or strength. I mean, it's a matter of, like, it is what it is. However, I don't believe that forgiveness is weakness at all. It's not easy to forgive people. It is not easy. It's way easier, in my opinion, to hold a grudge. And, you know, she was saying, like, holding grudges is good. And it's like, and I understand, like, the perspective of, like, forgive, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to forget what this person did to you, or that you're going to let them keep doing it to you. That's obviously different, right? And, like, if you do something that deserves some type of punishment, you can still receive that punishment and still be forgiven. But yeah, it's really easy to, like, have vengeance. But yeah, she was basically saying, like, I just don't like that so many Christians are so soft. She was like, I think Christian values are good for society, but I just think that, you know, you need to hold grudges and you shouldn't forgive people, and if you keep doing these things, that Christianity is going to die out, is like the gist of kind of what she was saying. And I feel like that is also just like, as someone who is not, if you're not a Christian, maybe you can't understand what I'm about to say, but I would like to ease everyone's minds about that. Can I do that for you? Can I attempt at least? You don't have to worry about Christianity dying out, because God is sovereign. Whatever God wants to happen will happen. If God wants Christianity to continue, it will continue. And that's just it. You don't have to worry about, you know, if you're doing your best to live biblically, however that looks like for you, that's what you should be focused on. You should be focused on your relationship with God, right? And following the commandments and all of those things, like doing your best to just live out a life as best as you can. No one's perfect. But living that out as biblically, as faithfully as you can. Your main priority shouldn't necessarily be, am I going to have Christianity continue? Because God is sovereign. I mean, think about, like, back in Jesus's day, like, even, like, right after he returned to heaven. Darren, thank you for the $5. Are we supposed to forgive our enemies or ask Jesus to forgive them and that's enough? Oh, we're supposed to forgive. Like, we should forgive them. I don't know if it necessarily means that you have to speak with them necessarily. I mean, I think that's kind of up to you and, like, your conviction that you feel. If you feel you need to reach out to someone, if you feel like it's enough to just kind of forgive in your heart and move on. Maybe you feel like it's not appropriate to reach out to someone. Maybe it'll do more harm than good. Maybe you're not comfortable with that. I think personally that's okay. I think it's just like a personal conviction and decision. But yeah, we are supposed to forgive so that our Father in heaven can forgive us, right? That's what it says in the Bible. But so yeah, when someone comes to you and they sincerely and genuinely apologize, we should accept that apology. However, that doesn't mean that we have to let that person in our lives. Maybe you'll want to, maybe you'll feel led to do that, but that's not what it means. Like, forgiveness doesn't necessarily mean that you have to give access to that person, you know? But what I was saying is, we should take heart in the fact that God is sovereign. And that even back in, like, Jesus's time, think about, like, in Acts in the Bible, they were so persecuted. Like, all the apostles and all the original, like, believers, there were not that many of them compared to everyone else. And they were so persecuted, they were constantly getting thrown in jail. I mean, you would have thought from an outsider's perspective, this is not going to last. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people, I bet, like Romans and stuff, they probably did think like, okay, yeah, this Jesus stuff is crazy, but these people, it'll be like all the other people, and it'll just, it'll die out eventually. But it didn't die out, because God had other plans, God is sovereign, and if he wants something to happen, it will happen. Like, it will happen. Now, how it will happen obviously could vary. Only God knows that, right? But, I mean, it will happen. So if God wants Christianity to continue, it will continue. So we don't have to, I feel like, get so caught up in things like that, Does that make sense? And I hope that can, like, for anyone who is a Christian in the chat and does worry about that sometimes, because I understand, I hope that can maybe ease your mind a little bit, just remembering how sovereign God truly is. Because he is, like, literally nothing can happen without God's, I mean, essentially, like, approval, right? Because he is sovereign. Nothing happens without him allowing it to happen. And that can give us comfort. Because even when bad things happen, we know that God has a plan. And we might not be able to understand that plan right now or see the bigger picture. But we can at least trust that, like, he knows what he's doing. Even if we don't know what he's, we're like, God, I don't know what you're doing right now. What are you doing? Like, please show me, because I do not understand. But, like, we might not understand, but we have to trust that he understands and that he knows. Christianity might fade if the immigration problem from Middle East isn't fixed. I mean, listen, things might fade. Things might change, but ultimately, whatever happens is what God wants to happen. So, I mean, I'm not sitting here telling you to not speak up or like, and just besides that, just in general, like, if there's something that you feel like is important, you feel like it's biblical, you feel like you need to talk about it, you need to speak up about it, like whether it's like something in the culture, whatever. I think as long as you're doing it in a way that is like, God honoring, I see no issue with that, right? But I just feel like we shouldn't stress ourselves out so much about saving Christianity, right? Like, we have to save it, we have to make sure it doesn't die. Like, I think that's the part that I feel like people get too caught up on, that I feel like we shouldn't get so focused on. Because God is sovereign, like I said. Like, if he wants it to continue, it's going to continue. You and me, we are like nobodies compared to God, you know what I mean? Like, we could try all the things in the world to do something. If God doesn't want what we want to be done, it's not going to happen, So, and just like the opposite, right? People can try to prevent something from happening all day long. You can do everything in your power to try and prevent something, but if God wants that thing to happen, it's going to happen. It doesn't matter what you do, what I do, what a million other people do. If it's supposed to happen, it's going to happen. But I find that comforting. Especially when our world is so chaotic. A lot of people might not understand that, like, why would you find that comforting when the world is so messed up? But it's like, I don't know, imagine like, you're on a plane and the pilot, you trust the pilot, that pilot is going to get you to your destination. You're gonna get there. There might be some bumps along the way, but that your pilot has everything that he needs. Very capable, very smart. The best pilot in the whole wide world. Well, that's God, right? So it's like, versus having a pilot that you're like, I don't trust this guy. I don't even know if he graduated. You know what I mean? It's like, if that's how you felt about God, it would make sense to be a little concerned. If you don't, fully trust him and his plan and all those things. But Christianity has survived multiple persecutions. I think only God could be allowing it to continue. Well, exactly. And that's why I say, like, we shouldn't concern ourselves too much about that. Simply for the fact that if something is supposed to happen, it's going to happen. Therefore, my beloved brothers, be steadfast, immovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord, knowing that the Lord your labor is not in vain. But yeah. Sorry, Straw, but this is where I say you are wrong. While it's true, it's still a flawed mindset. God demands us to be warriors and fight back when we are put to danger. Search it via the Bible. I mean, I can understand that perspective, and I'm not saying that's necessarily ever wrong. I never said that we're never so called to fight. Like I never said that we, you know, I know that there are verses about, you know, trading your cloak for a sword. I'm not gonna sit here and say that's never necessary. However, I don't think my mindset is a flawed mindset. I would not agree with that. I'm just saying we shouldn't focus on the fact that we are what's going to keep Christianity afloat, because we are not what's going to keep Christianity afloat. That's God. So, yeah. I mean, you can have your own opinion about it, but how much for you to record a video of hitting Rev with a can of corn? A video hitting him with a can of corn? How hard would I have to throw the can of corn? That could be, like, kind of dangerous. That could be a little dangerous. The persecution and such we may be facing might be an important pruning as well. We have a lot of false teachers in high positions in Christianity. I mean, yeah, I don't know. That it could be. I mean, like I said, only God knows, right? So. Ouch. Depends. Is he a corn-fed man? Oh, yeah. We used to always joke about that. We joke about, like, being corn-fed or whatever. It's funny. Actually, me and my old friend used to joke about that. I can't remember exactly why. Like, where did that come from? That was kind of funny. Maybe it was, like, a song or something. Because we're from the South, but... Oh, I feed him good. That's for sure. What if I hit his VTuber model with a can of corn? And we just dub it. I saw a meme about it recently. Interesting. Oh my goodness. Not the corn. Hey, I like corn. Like actual corn. It's yummy. Amazing. Chat. I'm sleepy. I, like, think I might need another nap. I don't want to take a nap necessarily. But I'm just tired. I woke up early, though. I was gonna say, and I meant to pin this earlier, but I kind of forgot. That's okay. I was going to shill my Patreon again. If you would like to support me, support the channel, Patreon is one of the best ways to do so. I appreciate all the support over there. I've been uploading some exclusive stuff. I also just uploaded, or just posted a post called Ask Me Anything. It's available for tiers $3 and up. Just an extra special gift to you guys where you can ask me literally anything you want, pretty much, and I'm going to do my best to answer every single question underneath it. And it will be available exclusively on Patreon, those answers. So if there's anything you've been dying to ask me, my take on something, how I feel about something, you know, anything at all, feel free to ask and I will answer. And that can be a fun little thing for us to do over on the Patreon. So yeah, I really appreciate all of that. You guys have been just great, honestly. I've gotten so much support recently and I really appreciate it. And I just thank you guys for being here and for listening to me yap. It honestly just means a lot to me that you guys care to hear my opinions and my takes and the things that I think about. It feels nice to know that people actually care, so thank you. Can I spam you asking for recipes? Of course, you can ask me any recipe you want. I'll give it to you. For sure. But yeah, the deadline to submit a question is next week, March 6th. So you have about a week to ask me anything you want over there on Patreon. And yeah, I'll see you guys later. I won't be streaming tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll have the Bible study in the Discord. If you haven't joined the Discord, I'll drop the link in the chat. So we'll be doing that tomorrow, 2 p.m. EST. And then, yeah, I have church tomorrow. So I will not be streaming probably tomorrow. But I'm not scheduled to anyways. But I'll see you guys Thursday for another stream. We'll be back here Thursday, same time and place. And then Friday, of course, is our members only stream. We're gonna do some ASMR for the members only stream. It'll be like a chatty, comfy morning, or at least morning for me, kinda 11 a.m. EST ASMR on Friday morning. So that'll be nice and fun, and we'll just chat, and I'll chat with ASMR, and it'll be a nice time. So I'll see you guys later. Take care of yourselves, and yeah, bye.